Hello, it's Ken with Noisy Boys Music again. How I put snare wires on. And I'm doing this for a friend. So this may be extremely boring. I should try to think of funny things to say while I'm doing this. This is a Mapex snare. It didn't have any snare wires on it at all. It has the kind that uses the screws here. I had to replace a bolt here. I was missing one. I'll show you how the two different types of snares work. Anyway, when you put snare wires on, in this instance I'm using a cord. I could use a strap. The strap would go right through that hole there if I was using a strap. I should show you in this end. And then through the slot. I don't have one of those right here, and I'll show you at the end there what those look like. But we have strings on it. I have strings for this, so I'm going to use strings and show you how this works. Now, you want to make sure the strings go through the hole in the bottom of the snare, not over it, like I've probably done once or twice. So you have those two screws there. And sometimes it's a real pain to get these through there. You don't want the screws to fall out either though. But, so I'm going to take and fold it over so I have a little bit more bulk to stick through there. But I tried to stick it through. So I made a little loop there. Stick that through. Grab it from the other side, theoretically. I look like I know what I'm doing. Just flattened out there. So we'll try again here. And where are they going anyway? It's going into the twilight zone. I see this was a lot of fun. Okay, one side in. Maybe this side will work better. Got a tool someplace I can use to push it down. Yeah, that's not. Okay, so what I'm trying to do is eventually wind up with the snare equal distance on both sides to the wooden shell. So it's right in the middle. So I'm going to pull this down here. I'm going to make it a little bit towards this side because it tightens up from the other side, from the throw-off side. So I tighten these up just tight enough. I want the strings to be towards the outside, and I'm going to pull it back where I think it will wind up at, and tighten this side down. Doesn't make any difference which string's longer than the other one. You can trim off the end if you're really picky, but obviously it's going to lay down. Now that is a given way that I always do it, with the string going underneath the snare, then crossing over the top and back underneath and out. I think that's the way it should be done. So now I've got to thread this one here, like so. This really is boring. You might skip ahead to, if you're wondering how tight to get the throw off. We'll be talking about that in just a little bit as soon as I get this done, but who knows. Maybe someone wants to see me do this. So now we have these loose. So I had to replace one of these screws. Instead of trying to show you here, I'm going to get close to me so I can see what I'm doing here. Excuse the lack of any. Oops! Dropped my screw. Where'd it go? Maybe I'll make it easier to put these here. The screw came out of there, so I'll just put the threads underneath here. Put that back in. Might be the much better way to do that. Who knows? Tighten it with my fingers. Now what I want to do is I want to have these strings as far apart as possible. So I'll get them right next to the screws. Hopefully the screws won't cut them. We'll use there. Come on. These always are much more of a pain than they should ever be. So I'm going to get this on the other side, hopefully. Maybe. Okay, so I've got these both coming out like so. As far out like this as possible. And what I will do is back the throw off up. Some throw offs you can see right where it's at as far as how far it's going to go down. This one I can't, so I'm going to screw it all the way down and back it up a good ways. Okay, now I'm going to use that adjustment to tighten this. So I pull these out to the sides and pull a little bit tight, not much, tighten it. So I've got tight there. Like I said, the bands are a little bit differently, but maybe a little bit easier too. So, now we have well, the snares aren't working, but now we're going to tighten it back down. Let's tighten it down with it closed like this. Let's see how close I got. Now if it goes all the way down like it did there, obviously I didn't get the strings tight enough. Let's easy enough to tighten them up now. See where they are here. We're good there. So I will open this up. I've unscrewed it a ways farther. 2 wrenches, one does work, one does not. That was the one that worked. Okay, got that tighter. Let's see how we are. Tighten it up a little bit. Remember, I haven't tuned this top head yet. I like how tight my snare head is. Anyway, that's the way you put the snares on. If you have any questions, you can put them in the comments below. Oh, I have one more thing to show you too. So I'll see where this will be a moon gel drum if there was. I guess like my snare's tight. Anyway, that's what we got. Now, on some Ludwig throw-offs, they will not take the bands for the snares. They only have holes in them. So you have to try to thread that through those little tiny holes, which can be a real pain. On this side you could use a band, but on this side on this hammered bronze goes through the holes there. Most new snares, the same principle applies, tightening them up. But most new snares have the bands like this. Same principle applies, but equal distant. Fix this one first, tighten this one up. And that's all I got for you on that. So I need to find a stick and see what this actually sounds like. My Elvis stick. So I'm all done. You can keep on watching while I try to make this little old Mapex sound halfway decent with that Diplomat batter head. I'm going the other direction on this one. I might need some more work. I might actually replace this head with a different one. Anyway. I don't like the sound of it. Over and out.